Right, getting into this match here, the first of three for this best of three. What can you tell us about Candy and Ambush, Papa?
Teams sometimes have troubles finding each other, but when they do, it'll start picking up. Usually the engagements focus towards the middle, to the middle lower of the map that you're staring at now.
Alrighty, we'll see what the ships have going on here. First, the Pastry prize. We have on that a Hawacha and a flamethrower and a Gat. I was going to say a couple flamethrowers, but he has put a Gat on the right side of his ship. Moving on to which one is that? That is the Herney Cake Cat, piloted by BFS and Glider. That's the mine launcher on the front, mine launcher on the top left side. Then we have a Banshee, an Artemis, and an Artemis. A couple Artemi. Go ahead and tell us about the Overwatch ships there, Papa.
Well, we have the Balo.Uns rocking the Hwacha Carronade, and I can't see the top guns, so I'll have to look to the side here. Carronade? Or, sorry, Heavy Mortar. And on the left side, we have the Lumberjack, Flak, and the Merc Cannon. Rainbow Crash, rocking the Flame up front. Carronade, very disjointed, bizarre front, very aggressive. And he's rocking an Artemis and a Flame on the left. I would have put the Artemis closer to the front so he might, try to get trifectas, but opting to take that Flamer instead.
I do believe this is going to be a very highly aggressive match. You have Redry on one side and James T. Kirk on another. Both pilots are pretty well known for how much they just like to charge and gun and kill things as fast as possible. Rainbow Crash being especially well known for its skill at ramming. Looking at the positioning, though, Herney Cake Cat and the Pastry prize, I'm not sure if there's going to be a ship discovery anytime soon. The Horny Balloons, not the Horny Balloons, God, Balana, this is messing with my head. The Balloons and the Rainbow Crash just passed by where the Cake Cat and the Pastry prize set up. So I'm not too entirely sure if we're going to see a discovery.
Right now they're waiting. They're taking a gentleman's break, as it were. Someone disconnected on the red team, so they're just kind of holding back and chilling out for a minute until the other team says they're ready to go. And this is a lot of what you see on Canyon Ambush. I mean, Ring Around the Rosie usually happens right where you're witnessing it right now. They'll coast around that massive rock. And we used to have a team called the Wolfpack who would just charge directly over that rock. And it was never really a surprise. You knew exactly what they were going to do. But they managed to just coordinate so well and so highly aggressive that they managed to make it work like 90% of the time.
That's incredible. How much maneuvering space? I think I have the right rock in focus right now. How much maneuvering space do you have available over here? I mean, this is insane.
About a ship's length. I wouldn't try getting a spire over it though, because it's so tall. But I think you can fit a galleon over if you really, really try.
If you try, if it sucks it in a little bit.
Exactly.
Waiting to see exactly when. Oh dear, the Herney Cake Cat has completely lost that gunner slot at this point.
Rainbow, Crash, and Balloons just shooting at each other, trying to pass the time.
That doesn't surprise me. It's Overwatch. Congratulations, by the way, to Rimmer for getting CA status. That is a very recent thing. Congratulations, though, to Rimmer for that accomplishment. Good on you, sir.
Indeed, we could always use more community ambassadors to help, shepherd the community in the right direction.
Also, a big hello to all the folks over in our chat room there at twitch.tv/The Robin Dan Show. Good to have you guys here. As soon as... yes! The BFS has pulled in another one of their members, and we're going to be good to get this match started once again. We're just going to pull up the chat. Both teams have said they are good to go, and we should be seeing action restarted here.
And, action going to be restarting here, but now the red team is slowly drifting farther and farther away from the blue team. So we'll see how long it takes them to manage to find each other. A lot of the teams will be using the music in the game to help as a sort of sonar radar type deal. Because when you're in close proximity with another ship, we all know that drums kick in. So you're going to be looking for that.
We might have a moment here. Balloons is about to have a spot on the Herney K-Cat. Oh no, he's going too low. He's not going to see it.
Ceiling. Yeah, the flight ceiling just pushing him below that rock, so he couldn't quite see it.
Sadly enough. But
wait. Red team's not going to be moving, so if blue team comes out of this choke here, then
there was a possibility of a spot there by the Herney K-Cat on the balloons, but it did not take it. I'm not sure though. Oh, Herney K-Cat is pointing themselves directly in the direction. That doesn't make any sense. That the blue team's... Oh, we're going to have a major discovery. Things are about to get a little intense. Spots going down on the Herney K-Cat and the Pastry Prize. Flames going out. Watch a shots from the Pastry Prize. My goodness.
Blue team off to a rough start there. That galleon's still not getting any of its main broadsides up. There's the Herney K-Cat throwing those mines on top of balloons, absolutely, tossing his arcs.
Rainbow Crash just took a nasty, nasty shot. I'm not sure if that was a mine or a shot from the Pastry Prize's Watcha, but that was very deadly.
Pastry Prize doing a good job splitting target fire. He's got his Gatling helping work on the galleon's hull, while using the Watcher Barrage to nullify the Pyramidian's usefulness. You can see a lot of Sir Monty destroyed Dragon Tongue Light Flamethrower and Artemis Light Rocket Launcher. He's just broadsiding him.
The majority of the Pastry Prize was on fire there. In fact, almost every single component on it was on fire there just a moment ago. Rainbow Crash and Redria being excessively aggressive. I think he understands the danger of how aggressive Kirk likes to play, and he's doing his best to completely disable the Pastry Prize while Balloons tries to take care of the K-Cat.
There was a bizarre ram. I feel like the Herney might have hit one of his own mines. I didn't quite see, but he did end up getting tossed around. And now this engagement is completely splitting apart, so it's up to the ships to 1v1, and the Goldfish is having a rough go of it.
The Rainbow Crash...
It's very much a support ship.
The Rainbow Crash is a very deadly vessel on its own. It is sitting on top of the Pastry Prize now, grinding against the geometry of the wall there. Not sure how the Pastry Prize is going to be able to get out of this situation.
And Herney K-Cat opted to start backing up to try and get arcs on Rainbow Crash, maybe help his teammate out a bit. But it's looking pretty grim here for Pastry Prize as Rainbow Crash keeps ramming with the fire.
Said it before and I'll say it again. Redria knows what he's doing when it comes to the ship physics of this game. He knows how to make you get an unfriendly bounce whether you want it or not. Pastry Prize Balloon is down again. It's taking a lot of hull damage. One of his engines is down. Balloon is starting to go down again. Solid ram. The engineers on the Pastry Prize must be losing their minds with all the nonsense that's going on right now.
I mean, that is a large part of the tactic. When you use fire, you want to absolutely make the engineer's life a living hell as they evaporate.
Ouch. Tough situation for Kirk there. I'm not honestly sure how we could have gotten out of that scenario.
Stay with your teammate is about the best advice I could give. And Herney K-Cat started backing up. He was looking kind of indecisive, I'd say. He had a minefield in between him and the galleon, so he could have very well at least tried to help get Rainbow Crash off of his teammate.
Keeping eyes on the Herney K-Cat Rainbow Crash here. Rainbow Crash feeling like he has the distinct advantage against the Junker.
Oh, this could be a very bad decision. There was those mines.
Uh-oh.
I mean, this could be a problem sometimes with Gilder. He almost over-favors mines sometimes. But he made the right decision coming back into red spawn to try and get those advantageous distances between red spawn and their engagements.
Rainbow Crash now sitting way above the Herney K-Cat. Oh, Gilder's doing
engagement's all disjointed, and the teammates are separated from each other.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the Rainbow Crash is going to come down for a sit on top of the Herny K-Cat, trying to force it into a better position for the balloons to take it out.
There's those mines almost deployed. I mean, the trick with mines is you want to toss them in such a way that they deploy just underneath or just over top or what have you around your enemy.
We have some support coming in from the Pastry Prize and Kirk, but too late. The Junker goes down. Rainbow Crash is able to crush it against the geometry in a very bad crunch point between this rock on the left and the rock wall on the right here. Very, very poor positioning.
At this point, I think it'd be advantageous for the red team to just, scuttle backwards, retreat, and regroup. Because at this point, blue team has a distinct advantage 1v1ing in separate engagements, whereas the Goldfish really is a support chip and it needs to be used in conjunction with Gilder's boat.
The roll has begun. That point in the match where the victorious team, after 1 or 2 kills, is starting to kill each other enemy ship one at a time until it's completely finished the match off.
We in the biz call that the meat grind.
Is this even a biz?
It's totally the biz. At least Gilder's in this fight. Rainbow Crash getting a little bit aggressive there. Balloons nowhere to be seen. Just slowly trundling in.
Ooh,
so
nasty mine shot on the Rainbow Crash. Takes out their entire balloon, one of their engines, and a majority of their hull. Ouch.
Yeah, he's got to be super careful. Rainbow Crash is now out of this fight, and Balloon's a little bit beyond committed. Nice wall hit from Pastry Prize, helping turn him around a bit, but as he does that, he gets a face full of Watcha.
Oh, that's a bad day right there. You do not want those watches bouncing straight into you like that. Not only does that disable a lot of your ship, if you're on a goldfish like that, that disables your front gun.
Yeah, exactly, and that's your lifeblood right there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll have your engineers already running around.
Oh my god, the Pastry Prize goes down! Whoa!
Rainbow Crash, dual arcing flamethrowers. I did not know you could do that with the front left gun and the right side gun on the Pyramidion, and evaporates another person. Holy, you're right. Rainbow Crash does indeed have this ramming down to a fine art.
It is. It's Redria's bread and butter, but it's a fine bread and butter. It is an exotic bread and butter that he has mastered. Where most Rams in this point of the game, after a recent debuff, and by recent I mean a couple months ago, it made it harder to do, but he still manages to do it with epic skill. Pastry Prize is in a very poor position right now, although Herny K-Cat is in a good spot to support with those Artemis. Balloons coming up for a broadside now. Oh my god.
I thought Red was going to have a much worse go of that, but he did manage to get that Hwacha across the large guns on the Balloons. But Balloons is spinning around, going to be bringing his short-range side to bear, which should be fine. Nope, not quite, but they are getting those guns back up post-haste.
I'm not surprised they didn't go for the Herny K-Cat. They've already got a little minefield set up so that would have not worked out in the first place. Both Galleon and Pyramidion are going straight for the Pastry Prize. Very difficult position right now for the blue team to try and finish it off. I get the feeling they're being drawn into something, but I mean that's the risk.
Pastry Prize is turning his ass end to a Hwacha, which you never really want to do if you're trying to run, because that means you're going to be instantly disabled and then you're just dead in the water.
They've almost lost their balloon. If they lose their balloon at this low altitude, it could cause issues. They've lost their balloon. They are going to tap. It looks like Pastry Prize is going to tap dirt.
Yeah, there. A bit of haul coming away from that as well. Rainbow Crash, I feel like he's carrying this game as he goes in for the last massive ram. I mean, Balloons was very good at keeping the other person busy, and when he managed to disjoint the red team, then Redria would just come in and clean them up.
Mm-hmm. That's Overwatch for you. Redria knows exactly what he's doing with using his ship as not a living bullet, but a massive singular bullet. He did a very good job with that. Congratulations to the not the Pastry Pride, but Balloons and Rainbow Crash for the first win in this matchup. The next map is going to be on... That's going to be Duel at Dawn. Duel at Dawn is the next map up here. Before we get into the ships, tell us about this map.
Very close range, going to be very hectic right off the bat, but 2 galleons, so we'll see if that changes the speed.
The Herney Cake Cat is our first cake ship. Xander Broda is actually disconnected on it, though. Are they going to be waiting for him to come back? There we go. There's
Xander Broda is fine. I see him running around on the ship right now.
All right, we have a couple Manticores, and we have a couple Carronades. We have a double barrel mortar, and on the back a mine launcher. And then our 2-spot, the Herney Cake Cat. We have, if I can just zoom in, oh my goodness, mines already. A couple mine launchers on there. We also have a Banshee and a couple Artemis. And the 3-spot, we have the Balloons with Puppy Fur. That's a Lumberjack. He switched it up just a little bit. Lumberjack and Flak on one side, and then Watch a Carronade on the other side. Oh no, he hasn't changed that at all. What am I saying? Then we have a field gun and a flare gun. And on the last ship, the Rainbow Crash. That's Redria's. We have the Carronade and Flamer front side, and then Flamer Artemis the other side. All right. Oh, action is already getting started. Try to do that as fast as possible. Sorry, guys. Moving in here. They're taking long-range shots right now.
Yep, the VSS Cheesecake already trying to hide, just shrug off a bit of the damage. I'd have liked to see another Artemis on the Rainbow Crash. I mean, the Flamer can be useful for his highly aggressive style, but right now it looks like they're opting to just, cover brawl, which has happened on this map. I've seen very slow games on this map, which has surprised me to no end. BFS being a large perpetrator for back in the day when they initially started using dual Merc, Pyramidion, and Junker. So it was a very, very kind of pokey build, but it was very slow. That's what led to a lot of the very long matches back a couple patches ago.
Checking out exactly what's going on here. Rainbow Crash and Balloons have reoriented themselves just inside these ribs here. So the Rainbow Crash, it feels like they're getting a little eager. Balloons might tap that rib.
Oh, he's definitely going to hit that.
Yeah, there it is.
I thought he wasn't for a minute. I was like, damn, that's some piloting. And then he hit it, so I felt better about myself.
Thought he might be in a little too slippery there for a moment.
But yeah, they're going to start coasting backwards. Now, the thing is, they're not going to have a whole lot of cover out here, so it's kind of a gamble. I've seen a lot of highly aggressive people do very well by moving into the open area, and I've also seen them completely get torn about by people hiding in cover. But Rainbow Crash has now closed the distance, snuck in using cloud cover, and using balloons as a distraction. Once again, that seems to be quite a bit of a thematic element in the past couple games. So hopefully Cheesecake will be smart enough to help get Rainbow Crash off of the Herney Cake Cat, because that is the chink in their armor.
Rainbow Crash is taking a lot of heavy shots as it tried to turn around and make a pass back at the cake ships. Trying to see exactly what Redry is doing right now. It looks like he's just trying to rise above the cake team's arcs at this point.
And he has no spots, but balloons can't really move in. So if Red Team plays this properly, they can use the scrap to get closer to Rainbow Crash, put a little bit of pressure on them, but also stay out of balloons' arcs at the same time. But bad ram on the Red Team.
Yeah, Cheesecakes hits their own ship, the Herney Cake Cat, knocks them a little off course.
But absolutely delivered to what? That massive Watcher barrage to Rainbow Crash.
Rainbow Crash is not looking in a good way right now. They've lost a little bit of their hull. More of their hull going down. 3 of their guns, 1 of their engines. If I'm Redry at this point, I think just get out of here. Just go, leave.
But he can't, because he's in that awful position where he's trying to run away from someone who has disabling weapons. So the minute he turns his back engines, the Herney Cake Cat could have applied Artemis fire, but it looks like it's a bit of a disjointed effort. VSS Cheesecake is now highly... well, it looked like he was disabled, but I think I was just looking at black clouds.
Cheesecake is heading directly towards the balloons, trying to suffer this long-range fire from it in the first place before it can try and get close. Balloons is probably just going to turn its brawl side to Cheesecake at that point and eliminate. Cheesecake is taking a lot of damage.
I'm not seeing the amount of coordination that we need to from Red Team. I'm like, Herny Cake Cat, the minute he takes 2 mine launchers, he's going to be trying to set up kills for the Galleon. But again, Blue Team is doing an excellent job of picking the Red Team apart, getting them to engage skewed.
I think
and then they just pick them apart.
Part of that is actually the fact that the Overwatch team has worked very hard the last couple weeks to institute standard practices, like regular practice times, for them to learn how to work better as a team. Now, not only is BFS and Cake not necessarily used to working with each other on this kind of stage, it's a situation of Overwatch has actually practiced that at this point. So I think it's a slight double negative for the BFS Cake team.
And massive differences in play styles. I mean, you have Cheesecake, massive round on the Herny Cake Cat, whose balloon is
Red
down
is
and now
just happy
evaporates.
to sit on him. Rodrigo is just happy to sit on him and say, you know what? No, you're greeting this I-beam with as much love and tolerance as you possibly can find. First 2 points for the Overwatch team. Pull up my score.
Both ships evaporated simultaneously. I mean, Blue Team, fairly commanding advantage, if not, in game, then definitely, at least in the mental field of battle. If I was Red Team, I'd be pretty tilted right now.
The Cake BFS team needs to stick together. They need to stick together. If they don't focus their fire and work on taking out an individual from the Overwatch team, nothing's going to get done.
Yeah, the key word there was, focus. They have to end up focusing the same target. I mean, the Herny Cake Cat is not packing enough DPS to try and put one of these ships down. Not at the level that the Blue Team's engineers are at, anyway.
Cheesecake is absorbing a lot of fire right now. Balloon has gone down. Hull is going down at the moment. Multiple component fires. Rainbow Crash is focusing all the power that it has on trying to disable and destroy the Cheesecake. Upper ram on the Cheesecake's balloon from Redria. Absolute control being enforced by the Rainbow Crash on the Cheesecake.
And Gilder's trying to use this Banshee Mine combination on Rainbow Crash, but it's just not as effective as a Brawl side or even, a Dual Artemis side.
I really think that a standard dual mortar gat meta, if I could think properly here, would have been extremely effective in this situation. Rainbow Crash was focused pretty uniquely on Cheesecake, and they absolutely exposed their...
There's
oh my goodness.
what they were looking for. That's what they were looking for,
Wow.
and it evaporates. See, it works sometimes, but it needs to be done absolutely flawlessly. And those other couple engagements, I wasn't seeing that Banshee firing or landing as many hits as it could have been. And another thing that contributed to that was the fact that Balloons is kind of just off to the side, not doing a whole lot right now. Cheesecake, Swatch Barrage getting shrugged off on Balloon's balloon, ironically.
The red team now has a chance to even up this game, take out the balloons if it can get close. But Rainbow Crash spawns in very close to the Cheesecake. Extremely close. And the Herny Cake Cat is a little far off right now. I don't think they understand how big a trouble Cheesecake is in.
Yeah, and this is that moment, where you have to be super skeptical of where they're going to spawn. You have to know how aggressive they're going to be. And I mean, if you know the spawn points on a map, then you should have probably seen this coming because of Redria's super aggressive playstyle.
He loves to get into a very, very close brawl. We know he likes to ram. He loves that flamethrower carronade on the front of the Rainbow Crash. Oh, tough situation for the balloons. Herny Cake Cat should have held much closer.
I mean, he knew that his teammate was fine, so he had absolutely no qualms with spawning as close as he did to the enemy team. and he knew that the other ship was damaged, so he made a very educated decision there.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. And Puppy Fur on the balloons, an expert pilot as well, knows what he's doing. More than most do. He certainly had the capability of handling himself. Rainbow Crash using the ribs here as a bit of a blocking mechanism while the balloons reorients itself so it can provide supporting fire. Good little delaying action right now. It's going to force the Cake team to rethink their strategy, and while kind of being pinned into this little position that they're stuck in right now.
Balloon's absolutely gunning it back into this fight. He was caught back in the ribs a bit, but he was making...
Oh, Puppy's going in for a ram! Puppy is going in for a galleon ram.
Oh, but he hits a mine on the way out, and that completely throws him off just enough.
Oh, nasty mine position there for the Herney Cat.
Oh, this could not have gone worse for blue team. One singular mine through the balloons into that rib there, and they completely blocked off their teammate in the same motion, and then the red team just completely finished him off.
Balloons is now in an unfortunate position of a 2v1 that will not favor him at all. He's a good pilot.
But Rainbow Crash spawning right close.
Whoa!
Wasting no time getting back into the fight.
I think he knows that the Cheesecake is a very, very easy target for him. It's a slower ship. It's one that isn't used to maneuvering around his more aggressive actions. I don't think Kirk has flown against Redria often enough to know how to counter these actions. And while the Herney Cat has gotten some good mines down, oh no, Cheesecake is gonna go down here.
Yeah, massive hits. Oh, just getting that armor back up in time. Yeah, we have two people sitting on the hull right now, Balana and Xander. And we got Gilder trying to use mines to try and throw a Rainbow Crash off of him, but alas, completely in vain.
One of those mines actually did quite a bit of damage to Herney Cat's fellow galleon, instead of just damaging Rainbow Crash. Mines are one of the few things in this game that can affect friendly fire, and especially in the last few days, we've seen a lot of different mechanics coming out where you can try to target your enemy ship, but you instead hit your own friendly ship.
Indeed. I think one of the worst cases was all Mobula, all mine game that I witnessed.
I remember that. That was terrible.
It was absolute insanity. Herney Cat taking massive hits. He cannot afford to let this kill go. Rainbow Crash looks like he's going to be going for the VSS Cheesecake, but Herney Cat's probably going to be out of commission for a little bit longer here, as a couple of his engines are out.
He's losing hull points very quickly. A couple more nasty Watcher bursts, and it might be good night for him. Whoa!
I actually have no idea what just happened. I have no idea.
What the hell?
It just kind of... I think it would have had to have been Gilder.
Good lord.
And score screen. It was like, what? Just...
That's two wins rather for the Overwatch team. Congratulations to Puppy Fur and Redrio with the victory over Sailing Master James Tiberius Kirk and Gilder of the BFS.